You're listening to Sweep the League.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
It is the Taco Tuesday edition of Sweep the League. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on Sweep the League on this Tuesday night edition. Got some NFL talk that we're going to get into. We're going to get into some Spurs news that came out. It seems like this might be the finalized roster, so we'll start to break it down a little bit here. Maybe a little bit of Summer League talk. Also, Coach Gio's back tonight. Derek Irvin is off tonight. He'll be back tomorrow, but I got to ask Coach Gio. He was at a tournament this past weekend, and I'm curious because I have no idea about pickleball, and apparently Coach Gio is a pro at pickleball, so we're going to ask him or something like that. But I don't know. I've heard of it. I just need to figure out what the hell it is. So we're going to break it all down for you tonight. Again, MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, La Cocina Taco Truck, all great sponsors of Sweep the League, and we are in partnership with Locked On Spurs. I mean, we're supporting Locked On just like you guys should be. Spurs season around the corner. Summer League kicking up. Head over to Jeff Garcia, Locked On Spurs, part of the Locked On Network. Go to the YouTube page. Subscribe to Locked On Spurs, partner of Sweep the League guarantee. Let's bring him on, man. Let's bring him on. Apparently, he decided that college football jersey time is on. That doesn't even look snug, man, like at all. It looks good on you, man. It looks good. You're ready for that Texas beatdown this year of Georgia.
That's too early, Rudy. I mean, I'm not even thinking about little Austin, Texas. I'm just focused about the season is about to start. SEC Media Day, Rudy, I believe was today. It was good to see Kirby Smart.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday. Oh, yesterday. But it was good to see Kirby Smart. Nick Saban now works for the media, which is kind of weird. But seeing all the teams, it's great to get that college football blood pumping. But I think Georgia has a good opportunity. Rudy, we talked about last year, is Beck the guy, right? Is he going to be the guy? And look, for what it's worth, Rudy, the man went 12-1. Couldn't beat Alabama. We should have got in, but that's a different story for another day. And Georgia beat the brakes off of Florida State. But yeah, it's a new season of college football. Can't wait. And I'm excited.
Yeah, the good thing about it, you bringing up college football, we're still giving away on July 19th. We're picking a winner. So be sure to go to our YouTube page. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search at Sweep the League TV, subscribe, and that'll enter you into not only the college football 25 giveaway, but that'll enter you for every single giveaway from here on out. We're talking, Gio, we're talking Madden. We're talking WWE 2K. We're talking NBA 2K. We've got a lot of other things, and I've even got, the biggest surprise here is that if we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're at 140 now. We get to 1,000, that's some cold, hard cash coming to somebody. And I don't know of any other podcast doing that at all at, 1,000 subscribers. That just shows you what we do here at Sweep the League. We're giving away whole hard cash, man.
Whole hard cash, video games, and I'm sure really other things will definitely pop up along the way. Tickets, Spurs games.
I mean, we're giving away a lot. And I'm even going to do one thing when the NBA season kicks off, Gio. If we're going to give probably a pair of tickets away. And it's not just to the Spurs. If we have a subscriber, because we're part of the Sports Insanity Network up on the East Coast, the Northeast Coast, if we get a winner from New York, we're going to give away Knicks tickets. So we're going to give away tickets to an NBA game. We're not giving away, just Spurs stuff. We're not about, just one city. We're about everybody. We're based, of course, San Antonio. We love our Spurs and all, but we also know Gio's in Indiana. He wants to give away some Pacer tickets.
Look, I love Spurs, but the Spurs are not the only ticket in town when it comes to me, at least, because my teams are all over the place, as Rudy has called me a bandwagoner in the past.
You're the nomad.
Let's be real. Spurs basketball, Rudy, when it comes to my favorite teams, they're obviously in the top echelon. But right now, Georgia, Rams football, it's kind of on top. The Mariners are, really, a lot this season, but we'll see what happens to them towards the end.
It can't be that bad, man. It can't be that bad. Our Sweep the League call-in number, give us a call, 830-499-1852. And you know what's funny is I have the call-in number right here, and I don't even have the phone hooked up. So if you try calling in right now, call back again. But yeah, let me hook this up so we can get their call-in number. But again, call-in number, 830-499-1852. That is for us here at Sweep the League. Man, we got a lot to get into. We're going to get into some NFL talk. We're going to get into the Spurs making two roster moves today. Pretty basic. They're bringing a couple of guys back. So now it's kind of thinking, are the Spurs done making moves as far as signing free agents, signing some of their older guys? Plus, we'll get into a little bit of NBA talk as well. The biggest thing we're getting into is NFL. But before we do, this first segment is going to be brought to you by MCS General Contracting. The best foundation guys in the business, whether, like we said, family, whether it's a new home, whatever, pools, you need, just concrete work, just the general contracting type. MCS General Contracting is the first and only place you got to make that call. So this first segment brought to you by MCS General Contracting and La Cocina Taco Truck. Louis in here. Bronny MVP of the Summer League. I'm pretty sure Bronny is going to be MVP of something. Call of Duty, he won that. So, he's MVP of Call of Duty, that's for sure. Texas has media day tomorrow. Evening, fellas. What is up, JC? Special Leaf is in the house. Did anyone feel that breeze tonight? It was a Bronny shot. Chris Gonzalez, I guarantee, man. It's been really cool in Texas in the summer, Gio. I'm thinking the wind from Bronny's air balls is really making it to South. Leha and the boys need to contact the Lakers because with all those bricks, that's free material for MCS General Contracting.
Has he hit a three? I think he's like 0 for 14 or 15 that I saw. It's been terrible. Really, look, you never wish bad on someone, and I hope he could just improve. But right now in Summer League, not looking particularly well. But hey, he already has a roster spot, Rudy. So what does he care?
No crap. He's got a guaranteed deal. And people, I'm going to get into that later, man, because I need your take on it. Derek and I were talking about it the other day. Tim is saying the Longhorns have SEC, media day was yesterday. I think Texas has media day tomorrow for the Longhorn Network. But appreciate everybody joining in. So again, this segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting. Check this out. So big news today came out of the NFL. It's weird because we've talked about it before, you and I, as well as Derek. The one name that we all knew was going to go into trade talks was Brandon Ayuk. I got so much crap from 49er fans on some of the group chats and all that I made for social media stuff. They're not going to trade Ayuk. Ayuk is untouchable. That's their main weapon on offense outside of Christian McCaffrey, yada, yada, yada. What happens today? Basically request a trade. We're trying to tell you guys, he doesn't want to be there because he's not going to get paid, man. But you don't pay that guy. I say you really don't. You don't pay him. That's just me. But what do you think on the Ayuk thing? Because we all knew he was going to be on the trading block.
Well, he's posted some cryptic stuff. I think he posted a Commanders picture the other day.
Yeah.
He's been kind of going out of the loom there in social media, but that's what these players do nowadays, Rudy. They delete photos, they unfollow the team, Kyler Murray, and do a lot of things to kind of play with the fan base. But Brandon Ayuk, Rudy, look, he had a good season. I believe he made All-Pro last year as a wide receiver. He wants to get paid, Rudy, and if the 49ers can't do that, if you can't get the money because you're paying Bosa and you're paying, Samuel McCaffrey, right? You're paying all these guys. You're not going to have money. Plus, they live in San Francisco. The taxes are crazy. So if I'm Ayuk, you want to get out of there. Rudy, what team do you think?
I said it.
It's kind of, I wouldn't say it's late, but it's kind of a little late, but.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's one team that I've got circled and you need to watch out because I think Buffalo is the one team that benefits the most from Brandon Ayuk going there. He's an instant number one wide receiver in Buffalo. gives Josh Allen the guy that he needs there because Stephon Diggs is gone, which if we're putting, comparing apples to apples or whatever it is you kids talk about, Ayuk to me is better than Stephon Diggs. So that gives Allen, and then not only that, you have Keon Coleman there, the rookie. So to me, I think Buffalo is that team that's looking at, if Ayuk's available, what can we do? Is there a team you have in mind that you think Ayuk can go to? But like I said, for me, Buffalo's that squad, man. They desperately need that number one guy.
The Bills make a lot of sense. They lose Diggs. They've lost quite a few players on that team. I'm not sure what the Bills are going to look like, Rudy. We talk about windows of opportunity, and sometimes, Rudy, they close. Yeah. They open back up. The Bengals, right? They got kind of closed for a little bit. I expect them to be back. Yeah, at least as a top team in the AFC as Joe Burrow comes back from injury. Rudy, I like the Bills a lot. The Commanders has been kind of floating around there for quite some time, trying to build a foundation as they have their new quarterback in Daniels coming in. The Jets are an interesting team. I know they've been linked potentially to Adams.
I was going to say that's a big link there.
That's probably if I'm saying if Adams on the block, because really, look, the Raiders. Rudy, let's be honest. They don't have a quarterback right now. They got Minshew, who has played well, and you have O'Connell's another one there. He's been streaky. I don't know what to make of it. If you're the Raiders, listen, Adams has been great. Do him a solid, Rudy, and ship him somewhere. So he has to end his career looking like a bag of bones over there for the Raiders. But nonetheless, I'm going to go with your pick, but I do like the Commanders. Get your young quarterback or receiver. I like what they're doing up there in Washington. That's kind of my take on that for now, but we'll see.
I like the Commanders idea, and this is what I think. If you're Buffalo and you kind of have a feeling that Ayuk is available, which he is, he said he wanted to be. You hear that, you see the smoke coming out of the Raiders camp with Adams. Would you rather have Adams or Ayuk for Josh Allen? I mean, Adams is already kind of used to playing in the frozen tundra. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one for me. I think Adams is more of a win now situation where Ayuk is as well. But man, who makes most sense there when it comes to for Buffalo if both receivers are available, man? I mean, not only that, keep in mind, this could also affect Cowboy land too. They need another receiver. Especially, you're not going to be able to pay CD.
Well, they need to pay CD. I mean, I don't think you'll let him walk. And CD, for what I'm seeing, Rudy's not going to come into camp without a contract. Yeah. Dak at least has one more year left. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys at that front. Rudy, I'll probably have Ayuk. He's younger, right? Adams has a bunch of miles. If I'm the Jets, Rudy, you probably want Adams because to me, Aaron Rodgers is holding the Jets hostage. Is that fair to say that Aaron's kind of dingling whatever fruit in front of them and they think he's the savior to Jets fans? But I think Adams goes there. I think Commanders makes a lot of sense. In general, I think you do want a younger. But if you're a Super Bowl caliber team, I think the Jets have a Super Bowl defense to a certain extent. We know what they have there in the secondary and up front as well. But the Jets' offensive line, it's
gotten
obviously
better. It
has gotten better. We'll see the restructuring. I like Adams with the Jets, and then Ayuk with any other team. If you're not if you're the Rams, I mean, you probably want Adams. But look,
the Rams. How did the Rams get involved in this?
Hey, listen, the Rams have been known, Rudy.
You have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua already. What makes you think you want to go after either Ayuk or Adams for that team? It makes zero sense, especially,
this is a Rams team that also went after.
What? Go after what?
I'm saying they also tried to go after Brock Bowers in the draft.
Well, I get
they couldn't move up enough.
Well, no. Brock Bowers, that's perfectly fine. That's a tight end position there. That's a hybrid tight end position. But in what sense would it make sense to go after Ayuk knowing he wants a massive deal? You still got to pay Puka Nacua here pretty soon. You're still paying on Cooper.
Oh, no. I think Adams would just be a dream. I'm not saying for the Rams to go after a receiver.
Come on. You got to give other teams a chance.
What they have. But Les Snead listening in, I don't know. The Rams have done. Les is always listening and watching. Well, wherever he is up there in LA, I don't think the Rams is going to do that. Obviously, go after a big time receiver. But really, someone might go after Ayuk, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's obviously soon. Training camp is what? It's going to start next week, obviously. So we could see a trade the next week if the 49ers can't get a deal done. And it looks like to me, Rudy, I don't think the 49ers are able to trade Samuels. I don't think nobody wants him.
Nobody would.
Ayuk is probably the guy that's going to have to be the odd man out.
Well, I mean, you're looking at Debo. I mean, Debo's signed until 2025. He's got, he's making on an average about 23.8 million. So he's got roughly 47 million left on his contract. So, which is
kind of a deal. In retrospect, of some of the other guys are going to get.
It's a deal, but can you trust Debo Samuel to be healthy though? No. I mean, lately you haven't been able to trust him to be healthy. So do you sign Ayuk in San Francisco and kind of just give Debo away? But again, nobody will take Debo for just whatever you want. I mean, it's tough because you're right. You're going to have to pay. You have Bosa locked up till 2028. You have Trent Williams locked up till 2026. Warner's locked up till 2026. You have Kittle, who's going to be a free agent in 2025. McCaffrey's locked up till 2027. You still have to pay Brock Purdy when he comes up for his contract. So, yeah, I mean, if it's me, you're probably thinking, all right, you're going to have to move on from Ayuk because he's going to command. What do you think he commands? I mean, he's not going to command Justin Jefferson type of money. That can't be possible.
Why not?
You're talking what, 35 million a year? I mean, you can't tell me Brandon Ayuk's worth $35 million a year. CeeDee Lamb, I could say yeah, but not Brandon Ayuk. There's no way.
What does the market go towards? It's very possible that this is what's he's looking to get, and he has the numbers. Played really well last season. Won't be surprised if he gets. I don't think he's going to get that number, Rudy. Probably close to it.
Does he? Okay, so let's put the bar. Does he go above or below Amon-Ra St. Brown at 30 million? 30. I'll take 30 million, round number. Is Brandon Ayuk getting more or less than Amon-Ra St. Brown? That's a tough one.
Maybe 31 million.
So he gets a little bit more than St. Brown does.
Just slightly. I don't see him as a $35 million receiver.
No, definitely.
I mean, Justin Jefferson is, look, we talk about some of the best receivers. He's obviously in the echelon. Brandon Ayuk, though he had a really good year, I don't know if long-term, I don't know. I need to see more from him, but you know how the market is, Rudy. These guys want to get paid now. Yeah. And obviously the market has changed over the last decade when it comes to receivers. I heard someone say they want to have a salary cap just for quarterbacks because at some point, Rudy, this thing is going to be out of control. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at Mahomes at 45 million. I mean, Cousins signed for 40? I think that's what it was. I mean, you're talking Kirk Cousins, man. And that's kind of going with the kind of what we're going to go towards here because I got some pushback from San Francisco when I said, you just don't re-sign him. Just trade him. Trade him away. Oh, but, you have to sign him. Look at Justin Jefferson. Brandon Ayuk deserves to be signed. He's our best weapon. And this is what I go back to. This is why maybe a month ago when we talked about Cowboys, Gio, I had said, you have to pay one of the guys. You either pay Dak, you pay CD, or you pay Micah. You can really only pay one maybe right now. You're going to be able to pay two. There's no doubt about it. But who do you pay? Obviously, Dak has to be one because in a quarterback position, there's no 15 guys better than Dak Prescott in the league. I mean, there really isn't. And you're going into a draft where you don't know if you're going to draft another guy capable of getting you into the playoffs, where Dak can get you into the playoffs. Obviously, he's got the Romo syndrome right now. Can't win it. But you look at guys like CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. Do you pay CD or do you pay Micah? It goes back to the Justin Jefferson. You pay Justin Jefferson because you have crap when it comes to quarterback. You're going to have to pay somebody. You pay your best talent. But if Kirk Cousins stays in Minnesota, I guarantee you Justin Jefferson probably is traded. Why? Because you had Jordan Addison, who got arrested, but you have Jordan Addison there. So he becomes your number one. That's what people don't realize is like, you're going to probably let CD walk because you can get a number one in the draft. That's one of the easiest positions to replace.
I don't know, Rudy. Jerry likes to pay his homegrown players.
He does. He does.
We've seen it over the years. Jerry starts to grow fondly of his of his players.
Yeah.
Rudy, I disagree. We talked. I think Dak's the odd man out. If you don't believe in Dak Prescott,
you really don't.
If you don't see it, you don't pay Dak and let him walk, and you try to figure this out, because I think there's going to be opportunities for other quarterbacks out there. Who knows what happens to Justin Fields? Maybe he becomes something special. Now, obviously, the Steelers would obviously re-sign him.
Well, yeah,
and that would be the end of that. But Rudy, I just don't get why paying Dak Prescott for him to do the same thing. I'd rather start fresh and say, hey, you know what? Thanks, Dak, for your years of service, but it's time for something new. Arthur McCarthy's on a hot seat too, Rudy. He might be gone after this season. And there was a report from Dallas saying that McCarthy's tired. He's tired of fucking the antics of the owner who, by the way, Rudy, he has his own show. What owner do you know that has his own show, Rudy? Tell me.
I don't know. Nobody that I know. Mark Cuban, maybe, when he was it.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe Mark Cuban, which was, Shark Tank, but he's not an owner of the Mavericks anymore. I don't know. I really don't. But I mean, Tim's saying you let that go and try to draft a quarterback to the draft. That is, I get the thinking, and I'm on record as saying that as long as Dak is a quarterback, they're probably not going to win a Super Bowl. But who else gives you a chance? I mean, there's nobody in the league. You mean to tell me that you can let Dak go? What quarterback in college right now can the Cowboys go get that'll give them a legitimate shot at Super Bowl wins? There's one that I can think of, maybe, but you're risking it for the biscuit. You risk it for the biscuit. Can Arch Manning really be that guy with the genes that he has, Manning family genes? Could he really be the difference maker for a Dallas team with a CeeDee Lamb as a one and mediocre receivers after that?
Well, it's not going to be next year.
Well, no, it's not.
So you have to wait another year? To me, it's possible that Jerry's looking there and thinking, we're probably not going to do anything anyway. Why should I play these players? It's real possible that
it's possible.
Jerry's saying himself, I'm going to pay all this money to lose again in the first round. I'm on record though, Rudy. I said the Cowboys would win 6 to 8 games. You thought I was crazy. But I
did. I think they win more than 6 to 8 games.
A lot of people do, but I don't know. The running game to me, Rudy, I don't know what if you think Zeke is going to turn back time. He's not. We saw him in New England. There wasn't much there. There wasn't much. Now that team was terrible, but
yeah.
At receiver, who's the other guy? The offensive line's getting older. Tyron Smith is gone. He went to the Jets. I don't know, Rudy. Now their defense is going to be good, but
their defense should be strong still. But you're talking your receivers now are CeeDee Lamb, who's probably not going to be in camp, Brandon Cooks, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, Kevontae Turpin. I mean, it doesn't scream anything. It doesn't scream, receiving core. So, yeah, you're going to have to pay CD. But again, with the whole Dak thing, let's go through a real quick list before we go to commercial break. Justin Fields is a free agent in 2024 at the end of this season, basically. You have, going down the list, Jordan Love, he's going to be re-signed. We know Justin Fields is going to be re-signed. Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to be re-signed. After that, Gio, you don't have another quarterback worth a damn coming off the books until 2026. And then you're talking about Matthew Stafford, probably retired. Daniel Jones, probably not even going to get looked at. Deshaun Watson, maybe, but again, Deshaun has not been Houston Deshaun after everything that happened. And after that, Gio, Baker Mayfield, there's really nobody that you would want to even sign until maybe 2027. But even in 2027, your best option is Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, who both are going to be re-signed. So 2028, 2029 is the next chance you get for one of these big name quarterbacks to even be a free agent. So that's what I'm saying. You got to sign Dak all while still drafting a quarterback for the future.
They got the Matt Ryan.
Oh, Jesus. Is he a Hall of Famer? I know you asked me that. Dak, Micah, and CD, all that max, the math doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no way. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to have to replace either CD or...
I think Dak's the odd man. He's the one.
Man, I'm not, you and I, we love each other like brothers, and I'm calling it like a brother. You are effing crazy if you're letting Dak walk. There is literally nobody out there.
Why?
And there won't be anybody out there.
Rudy, trust me on this. There's a coach out there who's looking in the draft right now thinking, if I'm the head coach of the Cowboys, that's going to be my guy. And Dak was a fourth-round quarterback. Dak was a fourth. Rudy, did anyone think Dak, a fourth-rounder, was going to do what he did?
No.
That's the beauty of the NFL draft. Players come and go, surprises, bust, everything in between. I think there's a replacement out there. It might not be someone who's on a team currently, right? Justin Fields could be the answer, though. There was Justin Fields has been training with Jordan Love. Yeah. And from what I saw, Justin Fields is never going to be the answer. But that's for another day. But Rudy, there's some answer for Tim Gonzalez, Daniel Jones. I'll say this about Daniel Jones. Brian Daboll lost like about 30 pounds. He looks good. He looks refreshed. I don't know. The Giants could be good this year, but we'll see.
They could be good. And then if they go on a nice little playoff run, we'll know who the best quarterback in that draft was. And that would be one Daniel Jones over Kyler Murray. And if you make it work, then they're signing me, Rudy, and Coach Gio. Yeah, we're going to have to be the backups for a lot of these guys if they end up signing all three because the money will not work. When we get back, we're going to talk more NFL talk, get into some Spurs news and notes that came up. Also, we're going to ask Gio about some pickleball because I have no idea how to play pickleball. Apparently, it's getting really popular, and it's popular in San Antonio. Popular enough that they're building a little restaurant or something here that's going to have a massive amount of pickleball courts. I don't know. Gio's going to break it down for me because I'm just a big old man over here. I have no idea how it works or anything. So we'll be back here at Super League. Coach Gio, Rudy Campos Jr. Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Hey guys, are you ready for a flavor explosion? Look no further than La Cocina Taco Truck, serving up the best street tacos and quesadillas in New Braunfels. With a 5-star rating and rave reviews, they're not just a taco truck. They are a taste sensation. La Cocina staff is the best in town and pride themselves on making every customer feel like family. Whether you're feeding a crowd or just satisfying your own cravings, they've got you covered because no order is too big or too small for them there. Louis and his staff are all about customer satisfaction and they love their community. Don't worry, San Antonio friends. They're just a short trip away to New Braunfels. So why wait? Come visit La Cocina Taco Truck today and taste the difference for yourself. That's La Cocina Taco Truck, where every bite is a fiesta. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
Wemby, the king is crowned. Wemby, king is crowned. Future of the league, and he's wearing it proud. We playing justice, playing checkers, no contest. Wemby's got the game on lock, and he's making it statement. I'm talking about Wemby, the next in line. Future of the league, and he's shining fine.
Welcome back to Sweep the League. Coach Gio Rudy Campos Jr. coming to you here on this Taco Tuesday edition. Shout out to La Cocina Taco Truck, New Braunfels, Texas, serving up the best street tacos and quesadillas in all of South Texas. It's a short drive from San Antonio. Take that short drive to get satisfied. La Cocina Taco Truck, Thursday through Sundays from 8 p.m. till the last person leaves. They got you hooked up there. MCS General Contracting and Special Leaf Tea, all great sponsors of Sweep the League. Shout out to Jeff Garcia and Locked On Spurs. Head up to their YouTube page, search Locked On Spurs. Subscribe now. The absolute best Spurs coverage and entertainment/nerd coverage. Jeff provides it all. That's Locked On Spurs, partner with Sweep the League. This next segment is brought to you by MCS General Contracting and La Cocina Taco Truck. We're talking, NFL, Jen. We get the stuff about, you don't pay Dak. Dak's the odd man out. And I was actually on board with you on that for a while there. So it just, I'm sitting down looking at numbers and I'm looking at everything. And it makes sense to pay the guy because of the quarterback situation. There's really no other, maybe Arch Manning in college. I don't really know who else is in college right now that is worth trying to build your team around. So knowing that 2027 is the earliest to get even a sniff at somebody, that's too long, man. You've got to just pay the man now. Even maybe a 3-year deal. Just get it done right now. He's your best option.
Birdie, there's other options out there. That's why you pay the scouting department. And you pay that front office to go ahead and find you a quarterback. Dak Prescott isn't the guy. You can't tell me Cowboy fans aren't tired, Rudy. They're tired of seeing the same disaster in the postseason. I'd rather see something, strip it apart. Start with CD and Micah and rebuild from there. What's the purpose? You're just delaying what's going to happen. You're delaying the rebuild because it's going to happen.
So you pay Micah, you pay CD, you let Dak walk. You have another situation, exact same situation as the Raiders. A top receiver, a top defensive player, Max Crosby, and you have dog ass at quarterback. I mean, what does that do for the Raiders? Nothing. You've already you're going to get the same thing out of CD. I want out. I don't want to be here. Who's going to throw me the ball? I mean, you're opening up a can of worms.
The Cowboys are different, Rudy. The Raiders front office they've obviously made some good moves, let some guys go. I just think for the Cowboys' sake, start fresh. You pay all this money to your front office. Go out there and go find yourself another quarterback. It doesn't make sense. First of all, go get a new coach. Get some sort of quarterback whisperer or somebody in there. I don't know. Maybe they can go get Sean McVay, Rudy, from the Rams. Who knows? But they got to put
not leaving the Rams. There's no way.
Well,
nobody wants to do it. It's like the LeBron James effect, bro. Nobody wants to deal with LeBron. Nobody wants to deal with Jerry.
And that's obviously the ultimate goal. That's maybe really the bigger problem is ownership. And Jones is everywhere we look.
Yeah.
And look, the Cowboys have won. Obviously, Jones had him 3 Super Bowls, the owner. Rudy, he fired his own Super Bowl coach. That should tell you everything you need to know. He fired a 2-time,
I don't think
Rudy, a 2-time Super Bowl champ coach. He fired him. He did bring Barry Switzer, and Barry did win a Super Bowl.
Don't give me the Barry Switzer.
But Barry was that lame duck sitting there. He had all that talent, and all Switzer had to do was just drive it, right, Rudy? Just drive it straight.
Yeah.
And they got another Super Bowl. So Barry Switzer a little bit different. But Jerry's Jerry, and until he's also removed, that's also part of the problem. Yeah. And I really don't know where. I'm glad I'm not the GM of the Cowboys because it's a big major headache.
Well, but Rudy, if the Cowboys, you'd be the owner too.
I would get. Dak would have been gone. I would have started this rebuild before they gave him that last contract, Rudy. I saw the writing on the wall. And they would have had plenty of options, Rudy. And if they would have stunk it up, they probably would have got Herbert. They probably would have got some of these other quarterbacks who are franchise-style quarterbacks if they would have started this rebuild before. And they're wasting a lot of time. And they might go, hey, you know what? I'm going to sign Dak because they don't have a choice. And that's probably what's going to happen. I would do this.
Yeah.
Running the Cowboys. I'm here in Indiana, so don't listen to me, Jerry.
Well, Jerry don't listen to anybody but himself. He talks to himself in the mirror.
And look, Jerry's probably going to cave. He's probably going to sign anybody before the season. That's what Jerry always does. He caves. He gets upset. You know, this is a family. All this blah, blah, blah. Jerry, they want to get paid. They don't want a pizza party, Jerry. You know how they get those pizza parties to those good employees, Rudy? They want money. Money talks.
Well, yeah, money does talk. I mean, let me ask you a question here for the Cowboys. We got to move on from it, but I want to ask you this here. Sid Elias is in here. Him and Brandon do a very good job on these spaces for the WWE spaces on Twitter or X. They do Monday Night Raws, and also they do the pay-per-views. So Sid, just a heads up, we got another wrestling show coming up here. We're going to dedicate another night to wrestling. Talk more about the WWE old school stuff, plus Lucha Underground song. A mini Lucha Underground song is being released from STL and SOTB. So be on the lookout for that. He says he just finished The Acolyte. Star Wars fans rejoice. He finally got to see the badass Sith on the screen. Yeah, I got to check it out. I haven't seen The Acolyte. In fact, people are pissed off. I just started X-Men 97, so I got to finish that up.
Rudy, historically, you're always behind on shows.
I definitely am. I'm always behind. I just finished up. I don't know what, Mr. Belvedere not too long ago. So I'm like years and years behind. Shadur is not a franchise quarterback. There's no. That's not even remotely.
What do you talk? Okay.
Shadur Sanders? No, come on. There's no way. Oh, don't even. Gio, do not start on the Shadur Sanders talk.
Dude, the guy's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick, Rudy.
And it's going to be all bust.
No. He comes from a listen, being with your dad, being with the Sanders, he knows what's expected. And I think he'll be able to get the job at the next level. We'll see what he does next season. He could have a drop off. He could have a Heisman opportunity. Colorado, obviously moving to a new conference, Rudy. It's the Pac-12 last year, Rudy, was actually pretty tough. Now he does get some of those same teams in the new, Big 12, but the competition will be a tad bit less. But we'll see.
Shedeur is Bronny, man. Come on. It's Bronny all over again.
Stop. Rudy, don't. Rudy, this guy, the first game goes into TCU. Okay. Goes into TCU. And for what it's worth, they got to the national championship game. Okay. And he went in there and beat them. He also got shellacked against Oregon. But hey, there's a lot of things that falls into that recruiting. Their offensive line's going to be better. Listen, I'm no Colorado fan. Y'all know what team I rock with. It's the Dogs, the team who should have went to the playoffs if it wasn't for that damn committee. But look, I think Shedeur could be a franchise quarterback at the next level. I think he has it, Rudy. You see how he walks. You see the demeanor. I just think he looks like a franchise quarterback, and he's going to be a top 10 pick.
You mean to tell me? Okay, so you brought up Colorado went into TCU and they lit them, they beat them by 45-42. The same TCU team that went 5-8 on the year. You mean to tell me I have to be impressed that Shedeur beat TCU by 3? And that's what we're going with?
Think what Shedeur did. He is playing at a different school. All these new players coming in, and this is a different college football. He comes in with a new coach, right? They're trying to change the culture in Colorado, right? Changing the culture takes a little bit of time. It takes faster time, or it's not as long because of the transfer portal. But when he comes in, all new players, the offensive line is nowhere near where it should be. Mm-hmm. He got sacked so much last season. He hung in there. Yeah, they got blown out a few times, but really, look, I think he's going to be able to take the next level. And this is something else I'm going to make sure I keep in my phone and just put Rudy thinks Shedur's going to be a bust, so I can always go back to it and think, this is what Rudy thought of this guy.
I love that you keep the receipts because I want you to pull the receipts when I'm wrong. I will always admit when I'm wrong. Not you're wrong yet about Daniel Jones, but we're going to get into that later on.
But you're wrong about Daniel Jones.
I'm not wrong guy, about him yet.
I don't even know. The Giants organization get that guy a contract for him to stink up the joint the next year is crazy to me. I don't even want to talk about it. The listeners know Shedeur is Bronny already, man. I mean, it's there, dude. It's y'all
there.
Listen, y'all gotta stop.
Agree with Rudy, man.
This is
Bronny, man.
Shedeur's Bronny, Rudy.
Yes.
Have you seen what Bronny has done?
No. Okay. Shedeur is Bronny the hype is what it is coming to the league. That's what it is. Now, Shedeur can play. He can ball out, but he's not NFL talent, man. This is the path Shedeur Sanders should have gone on. Said, Pops, thank you for the Colorado season, but I'm transferring. He needs to get out of his dad's shadow, first off. Imagine if Shedeur Sanders transfers to an Oklahoma, transfers to an Alabama, a Georgia. I'm going to use Georgia with Kirby Smart, a better coach, a national title-less coach, and Shedeur Sanders is part of a program like that. Then I'm thinking, okay, he has the tools. He's going to start gaining the tools to be an NFL quarterback. He's not going to be an NFL quarterback in Colorado, man. It's another case of, hey, Pops, you're Deion Sanders. I'm getting drafted because of the last name on the back of my jersey. The same way Bronny got it, man.
Listen. Shedeur can play. Don't listen to Rudy. Now, obviously in the NFL, we talk about where do these players go? It's all about where's the fit, because you can go to a terrible team, and that's the end of your career. That's just how the NFL works. We got to see where Shedeur goes, what the plan is. But Rudy, listen, for what he got thrown into last season, he was 27 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. That will work. And in the Big 12, where they don't play any defense whatsoever, that guy is going to have probably a monster year, Rudy, in a conference that just lost Texas and Oklahoma, who actually played some defense, right? You're going to have, hey, I'm 40 over there in Oklahoma State, and that head coach, Kansas. Rudy, I just think the opportunity is there. Look, they lost 34-31 against Arizona, who was ranked 21st in the country. They lose 26-19 against 16 Oregon State. They lose by less than 10 against 23 UCLA. Hey, they were in a lot of those games last season, and that was a lot of opportunities, gain skills, not all that stuff. I think they'll be ready to go, Rudy. I think you're going to be surprised what you see.
I'm going to be surprised because he's going to be playing against lower talent.
Here we go. Here we go, Rudy.
Should I read off the schedule? North Dakota State.
Hey,
Nebraska.
By the way, that's a national power in the other FCS. So
no, it is North Dakota State. But again, I mean, okay, North Dakota State, Nebraska, Colorado State, Baylor, UCF, Kansas State, Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Utah, Chick-Ching, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Chick-Ching. Those two Chick-Chings, and I'll even throw Kansas in there, are probably going to be Colorado beatdowns. Colorado's going to get beat down by those teams.
I mean, Rudy, listen, 23-7. Utah only beat them by less than a touchdown at Utah.
I get that.
And with recruiting, the numbers they have gotten, a lot of those games were close. Like, I can understand, Rudy, if that Oregon was almost every week, they were getting blown out. They did lose pretty bad to Washington State. But Rudy, everything else in between, they were there. They had opportunities to win. And I think they're going to win 7-8 games.
Oh, man. We're going to have to go into some Colorado football talk when we start covering the college football season here pretty soon. So actually, I'm going to make that mention right now. Probably starting next week, we're going to be doing a lot of football talk because training camp does open. We're going to be talking a lot of FBS. We're going to be talking a lot of NFL. So for all you guys that love football talk, be sure to tune in to Sweep the League. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search at Sweep the League TV. Quick note here. Tomorrow night, we have Megan Price. And I was saying 9:06 a.m., but it's 8:06 a.m. sports in Amarillo. So she's going to be joining us for some WNBA talk, also some MLB talk. And we're also going to get to know her a little bit here. She actually hosted a Sweep the League episode a long time ago. So she'll be back with us tomorrow talking some WNBA. So for all you guys out there and women that want to join the conversation, be sure to tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. It'll be myself, probably Derek, maybe Coach Gio, and then Megan Price will also be on the show with us tomorrow night. Also, July 27th, David Mullins is in town. He's doing his first comedy stop. It's Hanging with Dave over at the Josephine Theater. For any of you guys that want to go out there, buy your tickets on Eventbrite. They're only $10 plus tax. So definitely hit up that event. I'm going to be out there. So maybe we can meet up out there. Share a drink. I mean, they're serving drinks. So I'll be on my best behavior that night. Definitely. But those are some 2 announcements. But yeah, next week we're going to be talking a lot of football, man. Everybody's in here. They want your thoughts on Baker Mayfield, Gio. Baker Mayfield, I mean, I don't think Baker has a massive season. I think he has a productive season again, but I don't really have high hopes. I think Atlanta's the team to beat in the NFC South. We can safely say that.
What are you going off of that? Based off of what? What we saw last season from the Falcons?
The best quarterback room in all of football. I mean, that's enough said right there.
But we don't know what Kirk Cousins' Achilles looks like. Or his ankle, or whatever he hurt last year. I don't remember, but do we know?
That's why they went and drafted, Michael Penix. because they have no faith in Kurt, boy.
This is, and I can hear the fear trembling in your voice. Let me put this down for you. We don't know yet about the Falcons. We don't know yet. We can assume, Kirk Cousins, really good quarterback, but he's not going to win you the big game. That's what normally happens.
No. They're not Super Bowl team. They're not going to win the Super Bowl.
All I'm saying is I don't know about the Falcons. I can assume, sure, Kurt's history will tell you he's probably going to play very well. He's also going to lose you a lot of games you shouldn't be losing. I'll say this. Tampa's the team to beat right now.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Really, Tampa?
Tampa's the team to beat. I don't love the Bucks. I don't think they can do that what they did last season. But Baker Mayfield really played very well for most of the year. Now, down the stretch, he played kind of janky, and some of those games, the Panthers almost beat him.
Yeah.
So I don't trust Baker 100%, but really, he got the contract, right? For a guy who was literally, dead in the water, no point intended. He realized his career. And you know who he has to thank? Sean McVay, who gave him an opportunity, Rudy.
Yeah.
When the Rams had all those injuries, Baker came in and it kind of gave him a little spunk, and he's gone well ever since. I'm going to give the Bucks the small edge. They are the defending division, whatever that's worth. I'm going to give the Bucks the edge already.
Seriously, you're going to make fun of that division? Come on, man. We are the worst division in football. Who cares? We have
you are, but I got to give a little respect to the Bucks, though. They did win it, and hey, they did win a playoff game against what was left of the Eagles, and they played the Lions pretty tough. So we'll see.
They did. And for FYI, for people out there, I have not changed my Super Bowl prediction. I'm still sticking to it. I don't know. I'm still sticking to it. It's going to be a Jets-Lions Super Bowl with the Lions winning the Super Bowl.
Wait, come on.
I have the Rams as a top 2 team in the NFC.
Yeah, you also have us losing again to the Lions.
Well, yeah, I have that.
And also the Jets. What have you seen, Rudy, the last several years that will tell you the Jets are going to make a run?
I don't know. I have a good feeling, and my feeling in my gut has been good and has been correct lately for the past few years. So, I mean, I'm going to run with it, especially in the NBA. I mean, come on, man. You trust your gut. You've got what? The offensive line was the biggest question for the Jets. They've improved it. You'll get Aaron Rodgers back. Now, Rodgers, yes, he's not Rodgers of old, but, he is Rodgers. They went out. You have Breece Hall as your running back, explosive guy. Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams as your 1-2. Now, Conklin is a very serviceable tight end. But then you mentioned the Jets defense. I mean, one of the better defenses in the league. Am I right or am I wrong?
No. They have studs, especially up front. I told you earlier, Rudy. They have a Super Bowl defense that I'm sure offensively they got the talent there. I got to see the offensive line. What happens? Tyron Smith, he's had some injury issues, Rudy. So some of the other guys up front. They got Vera Tucker at guard. So we'll see how that mix goes. I don't hate the Jets pick. We haven't seen it. I get the Kansas City. You got to beat them, in order, you got to be the man, you got to beat the man. And I know Kansas City upgraded this offseason. I didn't even blink an eye on that. I mean, I know they did. Houston got hella good this offseason. You're getting healthy Joe B back for Cincinnati. So I get there's more talent in the AFC when it comes to roadblocks, but I look back, if not for the Chiefs defense, Mahomes doesn't win the Super Bowl last year. There's no way. The defense won that Super Bowl for him. That was his defensive Super Bowl run. They lose Snead, so their defense took a massive hit. The best defense in the league, one of them, is in New York. And that's kind of why I've leaned a little bit towards the Jets.
Obviously, we got to see what happens in preseason because injuries happen. Training camp happens and injuries in there. But that's why I lead a little towards
I mean, it's the Chiefs. Statistics would tell you they're not going to win this season.
No, they're not.
To have a three-peat in the NFL is pretty rare. Has it happened, Rudy?
Buffalo did it, but on the wrong side of the ball.
On the wrong side, up there in upstate Orchard Park. Bills fan. So it's tough to win. It's happened obviously in the NBA and baseball, but it's going to be tough to get that motor rolling, Rudy, for a 3-peat. It's a long season.
Yeah,
long season. I'm sure the players will be back. I'm sure Andy Reid, the Chiefs are going to be right there again, but I don't see them. Watch out for the Bengals, Rudy. That's a team that
I will say.
I'm sure it's going to be hungry. Joe Burrow's coming back healthy. They don't have Joe Mixon anymore, but they'll have a cast there. The offensive line hopefully don't get them killed like they normally have in the past. Bills, we don't know. Lamar Jackson, does he take another step, Rudy? I don't know about the Ravens. You
get an older Derrick Henry. I mean, everybody's oohing and ahhing about the Ravens, but outside of Lamar's MVP seasons, what else do the Ravens do? I mean, they get into the playoffs. They don't really do much.
And their rushing attack wasn't number one last season, Rudy.
Well,
so it's like
because of one guy. I mean,
so what else? Obviously, Henry. And Rudy, we saw in the playoff game what they wanted to do. They wanted to duel their quarterback, Jackson and Mahomes. And Mahomes didn't play great either, but he made the plays. He just made just enough plays to get their team back to the Super Bowl. So I don't know what more else. What do you expect from the Ravens? I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to say.
You can't change the offense, right? He does what he does. Todd Monken, now the offensive coordinator there. He was also the offensive coordinator at Georgia. I don't know what else Todd can do to put him in situations. He played well last season, but it wasn't also, I don't know, Rudy. That's the one team. You sit back, they obviously have talent. You got Andrews, you got Flowers, you got all that. The defense did lose some guys as well. They obviously lost the defensive coordinator who is now the head coach for the Seahawks. A lot is left. What do you think they do?
Honestly, when it comes to the Ravens, I mean, again, it's a team that just never clicks. It reminds me of the Cowboys. You've got the squad. I just don't see you winning a Super Bowl. Like, it's all good and dandy till you get to the playoffs, man. But you know what I wanted to ask you before we go to a quick commercial break and we end the night with our last segment here. I wanted to ask you, going to the NFC, just go to the teams. I mean, you have the Jets, who I talked about. We just talked about the Chiefs and, you know, the hit that they had on the defensive side. They gained on the offensive side, you know, for Mahomes and Worthy on the draft. So you gave him a weapon, but you lost a weapon that actually helped you win a Super Bowl. Cincinnati, we can't trust the offensive line. Burrow doesn't have Mixon anymore. So if Burrow can't stand up, it's going to be hard for him to be successful there. The Browns have a legit, you know, squad. But again, can you trust Deshaun? That's my biggest fear. Chargers are no more. I mean, you have Herbert, but you don't have Eckler. Williams is gone. Keenan Allen's gone. I mean,
Harbaugh really cleaned house. That's a team. That's another team. I don't know.
2 years. It's going to take about 2 years.
Harbaugh's a guy, Rudy. We saw him in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We obviously saw him at Stanford and his other stops. Listen, he has a good track record. He's going to give you a good run.
Yeah.
That's a team. I think they're probably a year or two away, Rudy, from really showing what they could do. But you got Herbert there. You're always going to have a chance when you have that quarterback. It's going to be interesting to see what type of offense they run there. Yeah, the Chargers, the Raiders, we know what's not going to happen there.
Denver's not a threat. I mean, you can even say, well, what about the Dolphins and their explosive offense? What the hell do they have on defense? I mean, they don't even win against winning organizations.
Yeah, the Dolphins, listen, Tua is going to probably get paid. A lot of people are saying.
Yeah, he has to.
He shouldn't get paid, but he's going to get paid. I like what they got in the playoff game. Look, I'm not trying to blame weather, Rudy, but the Dolphins they don't play in the Midwest.
Exactly.
And that offense is a more of a dome, warm weather type of thing. And we've seen it in the past. We saw the Rams go up to Chicago once and just get shellacked, right? It's just that the temperatures in the postseason, Rudy, in the AFC, you're going to have to go to Baltimore where it rains. You're going to have to go to Buffalo. You're going to have to go to these teams. Can you hold up? Can Tua hold up? And Rudy, he looks good. He lost weight. I'm not sure if you saw him.
Yeah, I did.
In his, I think the minicamp, he does look thinner.
Yeah.
We'll see. Tua, don't love the arm, but he gets the ball out quick, and that's what Mike wants over there.
So before we go to a quick commercial break, we got our last commercial break here. So all the teams that we've named, can you legitimately say the Jets do not have that opportunity? The AFC kind of went down a little bit this offseason.
The teams are getting older. So, look, I'm there with you. I think the Jets have a good shot to make a run just because of Aaron and their defense. We haven't seen it. I would like to see it, and we'll see it up close and personal in week one. Just not sure. I just got to find that dynamic. Because, Rudy, if Aaron's running for his life again, good luck.
Then, there's no chance. I'm basing this off of them adding Tyron Smith. You know, you've got Vera Tucker. I like the Joe Tippmann at center. I mean, I'm liking that right now. So that's why I'm like, okay, let me let them cook a little bit in the preseason, see how they look. And if Aaron is able to stand up right, this is the other thing, Gio, the thing that we forgot to mention here is if Aaron isn't upright, Tyrod Taylor's your backup. And we know Tyrod can perform. So you're not going from Aaron to Zach Wilson anymore. You're going to another veteran who has made differences in other organizations, Buffalo, Cleveland. I mean, he's made differences.
He's played for a lot of teams. You know, we actually saw him last year with the Giants. They went out there to win a game.
Yeah.
And he actually gave the Rams all they can handle. The Rams were on the road there last year and actually almost lost to the Giants. That just shows you the talent, Rudy, in the NFL. Yeah. And Gardner Minshew has the same stats as Trevor Lawrence. And Trevor Lawrence is getting a contract and Minshew's not. That's how good these quarterbacks are. But you're right, Rudy. The Jets defense, I said it, that's a Super Bowl defense. If you can just get the offense to score points, they're going to have a shot. The Patriots are young. The Jets have a golden opportunity. And this is it to me, Rudy. I think this is the year.
Yeah, this is it.
I just, if the Jets don't do anything, Rudy, Salah's gone. That entire staff is going to be gone. They're going to clean house after this season if Salah doesn't get the job done. At least get to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I feel. We're going to get on to the Locked On Spurs comment here. We got a couple of Spurs news and notes. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll end the show here. Shout out to MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, and also La Cocina Taco Truck. Shout out to Locked On Spurs as well. We'll be right back to close the show with the last segment. A little bit of Spurs talk, a little bit of news and notes for that, and we'll get into the Locked On question that was asked here. We'll be back. Coach J. Rudy Campos. Spurs fans, are you ready to stay ahead of the game of the San Antonio Spurs with the best coverage in the business? Tune in to Locked On Spurs, the daily podcast that brings you expert analysis, exclusive interviews, and all the latest news and updates for your silver and black. Join Jeff Garcia, the most informative and entertaining host in the game, as he breaks down all Spurs news and notes, interviews the biggest names, and keeps you locked into all things Spurs. From Monday to Friday, get ready to start your day with the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out on the expert opinions, the hot takes, and the can't miss guests. Make sure you're locked in with Locked On Spurs. Subscribe to their YouTube channel now and stay ahead of the game all season long. Locked On Spurs. It's the best Spurs coverage in the business. Don't miss out. Can you imagine a world where nature meets wellness, where every sip you take nourishes your body and soul? Introducing Special Leaf Tea, a line of 100% natural, ready-to-drink iced teas crafted to boost your immunity and energy. With 4 unique flavors to choose from, as in hibiscus blueberry, tangerine ginger, pomegranate blueberry, or the original, you can indulge in the perfect blend of taste and nutrition. Their teas are carefully crafted with 2 times the antioxidants and no added sugar. They're known to help with blood pressure, hypertension, type 2 diabetes, cholesterol, weight management, and even provide natural energy without caffeine. Join the movement towards natural wellness. Order now at www.specialleaf.com and start sipping your way to a healthier, happier you. Special Leaf Tea. Nature in every sip. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League. All right, welcome back to the last segment here at Sweep the League. Coach Joe, Rudy Campos Jr. This is Taco Tuesday. Last segment brought to you by MCS General Contracting, Special Leaf Tea, and La Cocina Taco Truck. And we're going to get into Locked On Spurs question of Jeff Garcia, friend of the show, great partner here we have. Did Clutch do Bronny wrong by forcing teams to draft him and instead letting him cook in the college and even in the G League? I think it's going to be on repeat for a while where, to get phone calls from Rich Paul saying don't draft him, he's going to play overseas, I would call BS on that because of Rich Paul's call. I'm not saying he didn't do it. When I say call BS, I'm saying if you're going to call me and tell me that, I'm drafting Bronny right away because then I can hold him hostage. And you know what? You want him to play for the Lakers, you're going to have to pay me something and give me something for him. Or he's going to play overseas. It doesn't matter. Go play overseas 10 years. I'm going to hold the draft rights. So don't put that on me. So I think it was a whole thing by Clutch. It was an NBA thing too. I think the NBA had a part in it. We are surely seeing the NBA media wanting him to succeed. So yeah, everything's just bad about this situation, man.
Yeah, it's the fact that Paul calling teams. Really, if I was the owner, I would have took a hat, put it back, and said, I'm drafting him. Yeah. And what do you want for him? If he wants to go to Australia, New Zealand, wants to go play for the Chinese Red Dragons, whatever those teams are, hey, you know what? Go right ahead. Go get him to play overseas. I'm still going to own his rights. To me, Rudy, the fact that no team stepped up just proves the NBA had to step in.
Yeah.
It had to step in. Listen, sports at the end of the day is about storylines, Rudy. And the storyline of the first game of the year is going to be Bronny and LeBron, father and son, playing together in the NBA. That's what this is all about. But how about you think for yourself, LeBron, not about yourself. Think about your son. Think about what he's going to go through this season. People making fun of him on the road, making comments while he's sitting on the bench. Rudy, this is what's going to happen. He's going to get people going to laugh at him. And it sucks. I think he's a good kid. It's just, dude, and you know how it is, Rudy, out there. The media and certain people on the road will make signs. They'll say a lot of stuff to him.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, this is what you've put your son through. You should have let him fight for a roster spot. Rudy, if he would have went undrafted, he's balling during summer league. Hey, I have no problem. You
exactly
go right ahead. But the fact that he has a guaranteed contract, he's 0 for 14, 0 for 15, shooting threes in the summer league. I mean, dude, what are you supposed to do with that? What do you want to do with that?
You know what was there was a post on, I think it might have been on X, where they said we have to remember Trae Young struggled in summer league as well. And I closed my phone. I was like, you know what? This is dumb. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Struggled too, but
his first game.
First of all, let's stop. Listen, Trae Young, I know he don't play defense, but Bronny's nowhere near Trae Young.
And I said,
Victor, already these guys.
I commented, Trae Young had a college background. You know what I get in return? Well, Bronny didn't play in college because of a heart condition. Evermore the reason to stay in college, because you'll get a full year in college. But no, Rich Paul, Clutch, LeBron, everybody played it smart. Go this year. Why? Because in 2025, you're probably the 80th best player in that draft. If you would continue to play the way you play. But here's the thing. Go back to college, ball out in college, and earn your spot in the first round.
Well, Rudy, people are also saying, oh, he'll play better with NFL players. And I'm thinking to myself, NBA players. I'm thinking to myself, really? Is that what we're going to? We're talking about actual. He's going to take a roster spot from an actual NBA player. Dalton Connect, look, he's been phenomenal, Rudy. He's been playing very well. Is Connect going to do that? We've seen a lot of guys play great, Rudy. And then once the real league happens, so look, I'm not saying he's not going to improve. He's bound to improve, but what does that do? What does that do for his development if he's not in the G League? Rudy, I would have been fine if he went overseas. If he would have went to Serbia or he would have went to one of those teams, which, by the way, Rudy, those games, I don't know if you've ever watched clips of those games. The fans are crazy.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday with Eric.
They love basketball. It's like a college football atmosphere in the NBA or like in pro basketball. But Rudy, I don't expect much. And as of right now, from what I'm seeing, he can't shoot. He's small. Can't create his own shot. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Jeff's wondering, do you think he's asking you, do you think the Lakers will send him to the G League? Is that better than collecting dust on the NBA bench? Yeah.
Rick, that's what the G League is for. That's what it's for. He needs to develop. It's okay, LeBron, that your son's in the G League. It had nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. Let your son develop. He didn't play. We didn't see him do anything in college. Unfortunately, he had a heart condition, right? He didn't play a lot of the games. And when he did play, I didn't see anything. So, yes, I'd completely go to the G League. But from right now, Rudy, I don't think that's going to – I think he's going to be collecting dust, sitting on the sidelines. And what is – what was
the comment? I need to get into the Spurs news and notes here, but what was the comment? Why was that comment even made? Well, he's going to play better against NBA talent. The guy hasn't done shit against terrible NBA talent. You're talking about guys in Vegas that are there trying to make the league and have been trying to make the league for years now.
Isn't it going to make Brian look worse, Rudy, actually? Yeah. Playing with better players and him playing like that.
Geez, you're talking Steph Curry and these guys are going to make him look bad. You're talking about all-star, superstar, legendary, top 75, some of them players. You think he's going to actually have more success against actual NBA talent? No.
Just imagine him guarding Curry or SGAs, obviously, or SG or any of these. And I'm not saying most NBA players can't guard these guys, but we look at role players. He's a role player. What can he do? Right? You look for different, obviously, opportunities for role players. Some can shoot, some can defend at a high level, rebound. Rudy, what does he do good right now? Can you tell me one thing that Brian does really good at?
I will be 100% honest. The one thing that I do see is he plays really good off the ball defense. Really good off the ball defense. He does deflect passes. He does play some defense. I'll give him that.
The problem is, Rudy, if you can't shoot, you're basically a liability.
These days, yeah. Because you could say from back then, Matas Diabolis, maybe Bruce Bowen for a while there wasn't really that good of a shooter. He developed into one. There's been some defensive guys that have done good, but you're right. These days, you've got to be able to shoot at least.
Got to be able to shoot.
Minimum.
The Lakers need shooters, Rudy. You going to put Bronny James out there to jack up shots?
Well, apparently he's apparently there to
it's
stop
an injustice
somebody.
to him and his development. LeBron, it's okay if your son's in the G League. It has nothing to do with you. I don't think of him any less if his son's in the G League. His other son actually is probably going to be a better player once that's all done with. But at the end of the day, Rudy, so it's just the G League. It's okay, G League.
He'll be there for probably a very long time. We got to get some quick news and notes here.
For 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years probably in the G League. Quick notes for the Spurs here. One of them was they ended up re-signing Mamu on a 1-year deal. $2.2 million was that deal. And also, real quick, Charles Bassey was also re-signed by the San Antonio Spurs, fully guaranteed 1-year, $2.2 million deal. I think these are the last two moves we're going to probably see for the Spurs when it comes to free agency. It kind of builds their roster, which we'll get into predictions for the San Antonio Spurs here. Probably, I would say maybe right around preseason, a little before preseason. I'll give you my actual win total. Right now, Vegas has them at 36 wins. I'm still not quite there. So we'll get into the more talk here as we get closer to the NBA preseason. John G's in here. I don't agree with the whole Bronny. But imagine if you almost lost your son, wouldn't you want to spend every waking moment with him? I think that's what it is about. Now, on a sentimental side, on a father-son side, I totally get it. I mean, my dad passed away a few years back, but in the world of bowling, growing up, I wanted to bowl with my dad. I had many opportunities and I was able to do it and bowl with my dad, even at the highest level for us, which was a national tournament. I bowled with him, and on that side of things, I have zero issues with that. Period. You want to be able to play with, I understand you almost lost your son, with the whole cardiac thing. I totally understand that part. Don't think that we're cold-blooded and think we don't understand that. When we talk about Bronny James, we talk about a skill level. Have him play the first game. Have the father-son moment. That's okay. That's one game. But if you're going to keep throwing him out there in the NBA, you think the NBA competition is going to basically say, well, we're going to give them a whole year to just play together and be successful. These guys need to win, man. They got to win. And that's where we're getting at. You give him a roster spot, no problem. You want to let him ride the bench, no problem. You want the father-son thing going, no problem. Have that all day. But at the end of the day, someone's going to lose their job if this doesn't work out. I mean, let's be real. And that person should be JJ Redick. It shouldn't be in the first place, but whatever.
Well, yeah, look, as we've said before, Rudy, it's nothing personal. I have nothing personal against Bronny. We're talking about the NBA here, right? The NBA, the best players in the world, having an opportunity to play with your son. I get it, but this is also a professional sports team. Yeah. He can see his son every day if he's living with him or living nearby. From a sports perspective, this is what we're talking about. It's nothing personal with Bronny. If he's a good player, if he deserves to be on the team, hey, that's great. But to sit here and say, well, they want to see him every day. Well, look, everyone has time to their own opinion, but nothing personal. I just agree. Yeah. If he deserves it. If not, then he shouldn't be playing. And as we see now, nobody can say tell me Brian's an NBA player. Would be baffled.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. And again, like Joe said, it's nothing personal at all. We understand the father-son thing, but I mean when it comes to actual rosters and everything, that's what we kind of draw a line with that. So this is more on LBJ to maybe have talked to Bronny about cooking in college league. I mean, I'm gonna be advocate here at the very end and say this. I can pretty much guarantee you LeBron has told Bronny, you're probably going to be in the G League for a good amount of the season. I don't think LeBron, and I swear, if we go on TikTok, Gio, and we get, 1 million people, commenting and looking at the video because we put the shorts up on there. when I say this, but I don't think LeBron is an idiot when it comes to knowing the success he needs to have in the NBA. LeBron knows his son is not going to be a difference maker. So I'm pretty sure he's well aware that he's going to probably have to be in the G League for majority of the season. I know that for a fact. And if LeBron doesn't know that, then I have no idea what he's smoking or drinking, because that has to be definitely the first conversation with him.
Yeah, I would assume Bronny had I'm sure they had conversations about every avenue. And this is the one that they decided to choose. I think what rubs us more, Rudy, is what JJ Redick is saying in the press conference. Yeah. And also Pelinka. That to me actually might be the more upsetting part than just the whole LeBron thing, is that you have Lakers management sitting here and telling us, don't believe what you've seen with your eyes, right? Don't believe that. This is what Bronny is, and he deserves it. I think that's actually what the most frustrating is, that they're sitting here and just basically saying, hey, guys, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. After what we saw. Nothing personal, Bronny.
I mean, a 4-star recruit out of high school. Now, Kevin Durant was also, I think, a 4-star recruit. But we've seen Kevin cook in college. We've seen players cook in college. And again, it goes back to the heart thing. I get it. I understand he was out majority of the season. He had the heart condition. But it goes back to the one comment I made. Ever more the reason to stay another year in college or another 2 years in college. Build your resume. That's what we're trying to say here. This is the Taco Tuesday edition of Sweep the League. Tomorrow is Wacky Wednesday. We've got Derek back on. Is going to be here tomorrow. We got Megan Price on the show tomorrow. She's going to be talking about WNBA, the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. She's going to talk some All-Star, WNBA All-Star game. They got the WNBA All-Stars against the Olympic team. So we'll talk a lot about a WNBA with Megan Price tomorrow. She'll be on with us here on Sweep the League. Coach Gio, hopefully we'll have Coach Gio on there tomorrow as well. If not, I know we'll get him back this week. Sucks I didn't get to ask you about pickleball, but I do want to ask you about pickleball on one of the shows this week, because I have no idea about pickleball, man. So you're going to have to explain all that to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, pickleball is very similar to tennis, Rudy.
Yeah.
Smaller court, so not as obviously wide as the tennis courts. It's the fastest growing sport, I believe, in America, probably also in the world as well.
Yeah.
But probably more centralized here in the States. I went over to the Beer City Open in Grand Rapids. I'm not the biggest pickleball person. My girlfriend's family, they all love pickleball. And her niece was playing in a tournament up there in Grand Rapids, actually placed gold first place in the amateur ranks. She's looking to go pro in a few years.
Wow.
So pickleball was able to watch some of the pros. Ben Johns, who's considered the GOAT when it comes to men's pickleball. And then on the women's side, you have Annalie Waters, who actually is the GOAT of women's, who's actually 17 years old.
Are you going to get an interview with these people?
Probably. People were taking photos with him. I mean, I'm not the biggest quote unquote fan, because I don't play it as much, but it was good to see. It was hot up there in Michigan this past week. So a lot of great pickleball matches were close, and didn't get a chance to finish all of Sunday, but it was a great time. Rudy, if you ever get a chance, pickleball, there are a lot of pickleball snobs out there who are, there's snobs in every sports, but they take it seriously. And it's a fun sport. If you get a chance to play, I know in Texas, there's a lot of courts right now.
God, they're building a whole thing down here based on.
We have Chicken and Pickles coming here.
We got
to Fishers, Indiana, and then also in the city above us, they're building a 20 indoor court facility.
That's what they're doing here. They're doing that here.
It's growing. If y'all don't know what it is, go out there and play. It's fun. It's competitive. It's a good way to work out or just have fun. But yeah, I was there. It was good to see all the pros there really competing, and it was definitely got heated. But yeah, no, it was a fun time.
Awesome. See, I don't know about it. We're going to have to get more to talk about that with Coach Jill when it comes to pickleball. But tomorrow, like I said, we'll have Derek. We'll hopefully have Coach Jill. We'll also have Megan Price tomorrow, WNBA talk, as well as everything else. She's also loves covering the Spurs. So we'll maybe have some Spurs talk with her tomorrow. But for right now, it was Taco Tuesday. Shout out to MCS General Contracting. Also to Special Leaf Tea at La Cocina Taco Truck. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. 62 strong on the stream tonight. Appreciate everybody joining us. And also, hey, go to the YouTube page. Basically, go to YouTube, search at Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button. We're giving away College Football 25 here on the 19th. The only way for you to have a chance to win is by being a subscriber. If we get to 200 subscribers by then, everybody will get 2 entries for the opportunity to win College Football 25. But also the biggest thing is every contest that we have, if you're a subscriber, you're already entered. So that's the best thing here. We're giving away tons of stuff. So again, definitely want to hit up that YouTube page, search at Sweep the League TV on YouTube. Be a subscriber. So for Coach Joe, it's really accomplished here. Until we sweep the league again tomorrow, we'll see you later.